We have explored the vast underground lair of the SCP Foundation, from the scariest to the cutest to the ones we would never want to escape. But let's look at the ones currently on the loose, the ones that pose a threat to humanity but are far too dangerous to be contained. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary SCP monsters still on the loose. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at 5, SCP-1000. SCP-1000 is a nocturnal omnivorous ape ranging in size from 5 to 10 feet in height and weighs between 200 to 600 pounds. They typically have grey, brown, black, red or occasionally white fur. They possess large eyes with good vision, a pronounced brow ridge and a sagittal crest on the forehead similar to that of the gorilla. Their intelligence is said to be on par with the common chimpanzee. SCP-1000 has evolved alongside humans, existing contemporaneously with proto-humans and humans in large numbers until 10,000 to 15,000 years ago, when an extinction event eliminated all but 1 to 5% of their population. This event was triggered by SCP-1000 contracting an anomalous pseudo-disease classified as SCP-1000-F1. This disease is passed on at the genetic level and affects every present-day instance of SCP-1000. The majority of SCP-1000 instances are born immune to the effect. Those who are not born immune quickly die. Now the effect of 1000 F1 is as follows. Any humanoid that directly or indirectly observes any instance of SCP-1000 has a minimum of 2% chance of being instantly killed through anomalous means via permanent cessation of brain function. Because of SCP-1000's close relation to humanity, it is considered likely that SCP-1000 F1 could eventually transfer to human carriers. All media reports related to 1000 are to be examined for potential verifiability. All organizations and individuals investigating SCP-1000's existence are to be kept under surveillance by Mobile Task Force Zeta-1000 and discredited or administered amnestics. Coming in at 4, SCP-3310. SCP-3310 is a 9-meter tall tree stump floating in Crater Lake. It is anomalously able to float upright with approximately 1.2 meters of the top remaining above the water at any given time. If removed from the water and returned, SCP-3310 will return to its position. 3310 floats around Crater Lake as a result of non-anomalous weather patterns. The restriction of this movement causes 2 distinct and possibly linked anomalous phenomena. The first phenomena is the manifestation of anomalous weather patterns around Crater Lake. The nature and intensity of these weather patterns have varied between different activation events, but generally appear to target or especially impede our second instance. The second phenomena is the manifestation of several unknown entities in the area surrounding Crater Lake. The exact nature of these instances has varied with each activation event of SCP-3310, but have generally been described as dark grey translucent forms. As a result of the inability to remove 3310 from Crater Lake, containment must be focused on the prevention of activation events caused by the impediment of SCP-3310's movement. 3310 is to never be removed from the lake, and if its movement ever becomes restricted, it is to be released or returned to Crater Lake immediately. Coming in at 3, SCP-2000. 2000 is a subterranean Foundation installation originally constructed for the purpose of reconstructing civilization in the event that a K-class end-of-the-world scenario could not be averted in time to prevent humanity's extinction. Since its inception, 2000 has been activated at least twice. Foundation records regarding SCP-2000's construction and history prior to this assumed first use have been lost. Now, whether this information blackout is the result of accident or design is impossible to determine. Utilizing an underground Romanian transit pipe to collect raw material from various hot springs and underground magma flows in the area, and a computer memory bank housing data on all known human alias, this system is capable of recreating any lost human genome or generating as many new and unique genomes as necessary to repopulate human civilization. Humans produced by this process can be advanced to any age desired without extending the 5-day incubation period. The entrance to SCP-2000 is disguised as a disused park ranger station in Yellowstone National Park. Despite several civilian trespassing attempts, the entrance has yet to be breached in the installation's recorded history, and no further physical containment has been deemed necessary. Coming in at 2, SCP-1440. 1440 is a man of unknown ethnicity and age. When questioned about its name, place, or time of birth, 1440 will refuse to answer, although it is unclear if this is due to the subject being unwilling to share this information or not possessing it. Though the subject's appearance is that of an old man, it has not shown any signs of aging in the 50 years since first coming to the attention of the Foundation. SCP-1440's anomalous nature becomes apparent once it comes into contact with human population or man-made objects and remains in contact with them for longer than a few days. 1440 has an acute adverse effect on everything connected to humanity. Now, prolonged exposure of any man-made object or person to it will cause increasingly destructive events to occur in SCP-1440's vicinity, until the destruction or death of said human element. The only exceptions to this are SCP-1440 itself and its belongings, including clothes, a sack, a pack of playing cards, and a small glass. Now, the one good thing about this SCP is that it seems to be aware of its effect on human populations, and will in turn attempt to avoid coming into contact with the human population. 1440 is currently uncontained and location unknown since its last containment breach. Due to the nature of 1440, the Foundation may not have the means to contain it without risking an unacceptable loss of resources and personnel. And finally, coming in at number 1, SCP-3812. 3812 is a reality-altering entity that is nearly impossible to describe in any meaningful way. All that is known about this SCP is that it was once Sam Howell, a non-anomalous African-American human being who was believed to have died in 1996. Now, sometime after his death, SCP-3812 was observed rising out of its grave and disappearing. The SCP was brought to the Foundation's attention after its presence resulted in the demolition of an entire apartment building in Warsaw, Poland. However, due to its capabilities and varying appearance, it is impossible to contain and near impossible to track. It is said that 3812 exhibits signs of advanced schizophrenia, specifically extreme paranoia, extreme dysphoria, extreme mania, depression, inability to properly perceive their surroundings, inability to discern the difference between the real and imagined, inability to differentiate between the living and dead beings, inability to control expressions of emotion, hearing voices that are not there, seeing things that are not there, feeling or otherwise experiencing stimuli that do not exist. Over time, SCP-3812 has become significantly less humanoid in appearance, and is now only vaguely humanoid and occasionally manifests in a variety of shapes and appearances. Additionally, 3812 produces a latent anomalous effect on local reality, specifically in the form of temporal and spatial distortion surrounding the entity. These distortions are occasionally accompanied by random violent outbursts that may dramatically shift or damage local space and time. 3812 is to be constantly monitored by Mobile Task Force Ganymede 66 Starlight Knights, who are to maintain a 5-kilometer quarantined area of exclusion around the SCP. Well, there we have it. You guys agree with our list? Were there any scary SCP monsters still on the loose that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 scariest demons you're glad aren't real part 3. Cassandra Regarda said, if you guys did a most powerful women of the underworld, then Lucy would be number 1. Ain't that the truth? I'm powerful in the underworld and the top world. Never forget. The Dank Savage said, we need Use Me Like a Vessel Lucy t-shirts. Did I say that? Did I tell you to use me like a vessel? I probs did. We should get that on a shirt. You're right. Sulfur said, I was possessed by top 5 scary videos a long time ago. You're smarter than most people, well done. We have a ritual coming up, so close your ears if you're scared. Orendite said, all hail Lucy, Queen of Darkness, Goddess of all evil, Conqueror of the light, Destroyer of space, the first prime evil, all bow to her power, especially that pretender Jack. Wow, that's shots fired. Respect. But yeah, you should all bow down to me. Where do you think Jack went? He didn't bend the knee. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. Contemporaneously. Yeah. Contemporaneously. Phenomena. Go ahead, guys. Pass the torch. Pass the torch. Housing data on all known human alias. Oh, hi. I thought it was someone else banging. I was about to get angry, but you can bang all you want.